Hello and welcome, those of you who are joining or joining at some point. My name is Stefan, aka Firebrand 101, and yeah, I am a fantasy writer. I am a graphic designer, substitute teacher. Oh, there's my dog. Hello. So, yeah, basically for this particular one, it was just kind of going to be a simple question and answer session. Yes, Boone. It's okay, buddy. Gotta love dogs. Seriously, I love my dog. My dog's amazing. But for this particular one, um, ideally, I would have a few people on to actually ask questions, but alas, that is not the case. So some of the questions, yes, buddy, hold on. So some of the questions that, hey, how you doing? So yeah, some of the questions that I get is first off, how do you actually write a book? And believe it or not, I've actually got some videos about that. Yeah, I love to write. Writing is one of my favorite things in the world. I love creating worlds. I love figuring out how things are actually working. I love to actually come up with story ideas in my head. That's pretty much the most fun. Also, well, first off, I love my dog, but unfortunately, the dude decides that he needs more attention. Yeah, I love you. But yeah, one of the other things I also really like doing is I love creating art, and I love actually doing as much art as humanly possible. So, yes, I wrote a book and actually did all the cover design for it. I also did all the map work because I love maps. Absolutely love maps. Maps are amazing. To me, maps are probably the most fun part about a fantasy book. And yeah, another thing that I really also enjoy doing is doing a lot of Celtic knot work. So you saw some of that on the book cover, but I also do a fair amount just in regular shorts. And yeah, had a lot of stuff. So for those of you who come and tune in later, yeah, that high-pitched sound, that is my dog deciding that he wants lots of attention. Boone, stop it. Stop it. You're okay. Yes, I love dogs. Drop a like if you love dogs. Also, share this to everyone if you love dogs. But yeah, believe it or not, I actually get a lot of questions on whether I actually create the knot designs that are on my channel. And the answer is yes, I absolutely do. But I love just the simple thing about having it be formulaic. I love the simple thing about having it being able to use music from the actual from YouTube to be able to add just a little bit more of an accent to it. So, I absolutely love doing the artwork, and so I enjoy doing that as part of the channel. But one of the things I also really like doing is I love being a teacher. I absolutely love substitute teaching. Honestly, I'm not really sure about what my favorite grade is. I actually do enjoy the junior hires. They are a lot of fun. I really enjoy my high schoolers. They're a lot of fun. And mostly what I love is that moment where no understanding, and now suddenly you have that aha moment where you finally do understand things. Absolutely awesome. So, if you look at my channel, you're going to notice that I've got a few videos along the tutorial side of things. I've got a few videos along the how to create a fantasy book and how to create fantasy characters. I'm still working on developing that series. Might redo that series because I've been learning a few more things about how to actually make videos since then. So hopefully I can make a little bit better content. You'll also notice I'm basically just using a simple webcam because that's what I got, and I haven't even decided if I want to take this as far as I possibly could yet. So yeah, I might invest in some more higher end stuff later on. We'll see what happens. Right now, webcam and iPhone camera is perfectly fine for what I want it to be. But yeah, and of course, naturally, because this is a Q&A, if you've got any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. Do it. Do what? What did I say? Do what? But yeah. Also, I got some random videos where I just do some little singing bits, little 15-second to 1 minute clips, and I've actually had some surprisingly good success with a Wellerman cover that I did. Yeah, it was one that just took off for some reason. I have no idea how, but gotta love the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, and then I did just a few other little short ones, and they've all done surprisingly well because, I guess YouTube likes music or something like that. Anyways, so yeah, alas, not too many, but I've got one, and it works. Actually, it's really cool. This channel down here, she's one that I just saw grow from basically 30 some over to now 60 some in a matter of like a few weeks. So that's actually really, really exciting. Go check her out. She's got some fun stuff there. And yeah. So let's see. As far as the next bit goes, yeah, really, this is just kind of me saying hi and hoping that it is something that you might like watching later on. Yeah. So, like I said, I've got writing videos, I got music videos, I've got drawing videos, I've got a crap ton of drawing videos. I've almost hit, actually, I just hit 900 videos. So that's been kind of cool. And it just hit 1.5 million views on here. So that's been pretty intense. And yeah, and what's really cool is that this whole thing started basically about 6 months ago, and then just kind of progressed upward. If you're one that's wanting to make a YouTube channel and you wanting to actually grow as a YouTuber, there are a lot of really good videos and a lot of good really channels out there. I'd really like to pitch right now vidIQ. They're one of the best when it comes to giving really good information about growing your channel, and they do amazing videos about updates to like the YouTube algorithm, updates to YouTube Shorts. So they're a great way to actually grow as a YouTube channel. One of the tips that I got from them specifically was about YouTube Shorts. And so if you're a small channel wanting to build and wanting to just grow relatively quickly and build yourself a good audience, then YouTube Shorts are a great method, because one of the things about YouTube Shorts, as opposed to the regular YouTube videos, they actually have kind of a different algorithm going on with them. YouTube Shorts, they play more on the idea of the Instagram Reels as opposed to just the full live action videos. So with YouTube Shorts, they're a completely separate section, and you can get those suckers explode really fast, really easily. One of the tips that I also saw on that one is tag all of your short videos with hashtag YouTube Shorts. Just SHORTS, not hashtag short, but shorts. For some reason that, they say it doesn't affect the algorithm, but I found that, one, it doesn't hurt. And for the most part with shorts, people aren't looking so much at the titles per se. It's the YouTube algorithm that's pushing the shorts, because when you click on shorts on the side there, and you just kind of cycle through whatever YouTube is pushing at you. So thumbnails don't matter as much, titles don't matter as much, and really what matters is whether YouTube sees your content and thinks, I want to put this to people that I think will actually like it. So tagging YouTube Shorts, or tagging Shorts, YouTube Shorts video those are some other good tags. If you do art like I do, hashtag art, hashtag drawing, that's another good solid one. Again, the algorithm picks up on it. But then also another thing with shorts is pay attention to what is becoming popular right now. So, for example, the TV show Rings of Power. I love Lord of the Rings, so I decided to check out Rings of Power, and I actually like it. It's not, probably not as good as Lord of the Rings, just as far as, everything, but I like the characters. I actually enjoy the character Galadriel. I actually enjoy the various storylines that they've got going on there. I love the music. So one of the things that I've done with some of my drawing videos is I've incorporated the Lord of the Rings music, the Rings of Power music, and then kind of tagging on with that. So follow trends, but also keep things in the style that you go with and kind of blend the two of them together. YouTube likes it, YouTube picks up on it, and then pretty soon stuff happens. So it's pretty cool that way. As far as long form content, I'm still trying to figure that stuff out. I'm still trying to figure out what works best. I recently discovered that with long form content, you can go into the YouTube editor and you can add audio to it. That is completely free and non copyright stuff at all. So definitely go in there to enhance some of your videos. What's cool is that you can have the audio and then have it kind of quiet relative to the rest of your talking. So that way you can have it more as a background music. Or in the case of some of my drawing videos where I don't actually need to talk, I just put it there as the single thing so that I can go through it. Another really cool thing, though, is that you can actually get some of your long form content and then you can make a short from that. And what's really awesome is when you make a short, then it gets put up on the short shelf, but there's actually a little link on the bottom for people to be able to go to the full video. So you can actually not just generate traffic for your channel in general, you can get your video and it can get out there and it can get popular. One of my videos actually was a clip, and basically it got like 78,000, somehow crazy, but it was a clip taken from a longer form content, and that in turn got my longer video a whole lot of views. So again, it's all using all of that going on with the channel, and it's a great way to be able to use your long form content and just get a little bit more kind of life out of them. And plus, all of your long form videos, you can pull multiple shorts from them and be able to have essentially multiple streams going. So definitely look into that. If you have a smartphone, you can shoot shorts right from there. I know that you can do that from a regular computer. I just tend to not, but you can use your phone and you can edit directly from there and pull out little clips. It's a really great way to reuse old videos, and it's a really great way to take videos that you've had on for a while and just give them a little bit more new life. And let's see. So those are some of the things that I've actually learned from vidIQ. As far as some of the other things going on, one of the things that really surprised me is the fact that once a video is on YouTube, then it can just keep on generating forever. And it might have a period where it does nothing for a long time, and then suddenly it takes off. And I actually had that on one of my videos. It did that initial spike and then flatlined for a good, I want to say it was a good month or so. And then suddenly it got repicked up by the short shelf, and then it just kept on going up, and it generated most of its views after it had already been out for a long time. And now it's one of the few that's still giving me views on my channel. So the other thing too is just have patience. And I say this as someone who clearly understands everything to do with YouTube, because But no, these are just some of the things that I've noticed, and I've got about 2,000 in the course of about 6 months, so not too terrible. But no, as far as YouTube goes, it's definitely a learning curve, and it's definitely a challenge. So going forward from here, I still have a lot of plans. I still want to do a bunch more shorts because I just really love doing shorts. I love doing art. It's a lot of fun. I would love to do some more videos as far as some of the writing videos. I've actually got a whole series on that one planned. But like I said, I've figured out some new techniques. I figured out some new delivery styles. So I think I'm actually going to redo my my drawing or the my writing a fantasy series completely. I've discovered some new things about actually doing speed drawing and being able to get more ideas in there. So a lot of my map tutorial video, while it is a lot of just drawing and then a little bit of talking, I can speed a lot of that stuff up. I've learned a lot of editing techniques since I started. So, YouTube, it's a learning curve. So I've got that going in there. And also, I really love talking about my book. So I love getting some of those kind of things in there. Just as a spoiler, I've got book 2 is almost done. Hopefully a couple months on that one, and then that'll get all knocked out. And I've got plans for, in this particular series, Firebrand. Firebrand's going to be about 6 book total. But then I've got 2 more 5-book series planned in the entire world. I'm going to be doing a single book to end everything, and then I'm going to have a couple prequel books. I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, as you've probably figured out. So I've got a Silmarillion-esque kind of origin story going on there, and I've actually been developing some of the creation stories with that, and then incorporating that into some of the later parts of my book. So really excited about that. You saw my maps. Well, believe it or not, that's only part of the world. I've actually got a entire world map of everything, and I really hope to explore a lot more of those areas in some of the later series. I think that would be a whole lot of fun. Oh, sweet. You're writing a book too. What are you writing? What kind of book are you writing? No, this is what I live for. This is what I genuinely live for. I love hearing about this kind of stuff. But yes, where was I? But yeah, so I've got a lot more of the world that I really want to explore. Ooh, zombies. Zombies are fun. I enjoy zombies. Fantasy. As you can tell, I enjoy fantasy. I'm also a huge fan of like the Marvel movies. Yep, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, pretty much any fantasy really is definitely going to be up there on my list. Oh, also side note for people who are watching, everyone knows Lord of the Rings, so J.R.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis are also really big, but some of the other writers that I actually am really much influenced by are Brandon Sanderson. Some of you have probably heard about him. This dude he's like all over fantasy. Robert Jordan, he's another really awesome author. This guy, although he's died, he wrote Wheel of Time, and then Brandon Sanderson was the one that picked it up afterwards. So he's a pretty big influence there. Another writer that he's pretty big as far as Star Wars goes, but not a lot of people have heard of him otherwise, is Timothy Zahn. And this guy, he actually was instrumental in writing the first books of the Star Wars Expanded Universe, and really just exploring what happened after the original trilogy. So there's a lot of really cool stuff there. But I really like him as an author. He wrote he created one of the coolest enemy characters in history. Oh, no way. You're writing it with her. That's really cool. Hope that goes really well. Yes, I know these guys. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. Yeah, I really want to hear how this goes. I would really love to hear, hopefully read some. That'd be really, really cool. But yeah, Timothy Zahn, he's one of my absolute favorite ones. So I definitely encourage you to check him out and read a little bit. It's kind of weird. Well, you know what? I'm kind of weird, and that is perfectly okay. I think, I think it's Alice in Wonderland. The Alice is saying, "You're all mad," and Mad Hatter replies, "I'll tell you a secret. All the best ones are." Yeah, we got to be a little bit crazy. Only way to have fun in this world. Weird stories have a place. Alice in Wonderland is legit weird. Oh my gosh, Alice in Wonderland is legit weird. Also, the fact that, take Star Wars for example, you've got space wizards flying around in starships, and there is a all-powerful force controlling everything, and for some reason said users will use short little laser swords and not actually use blaster weapons. So if you want to talk weird, if you also want to talk weird, look at orcs, look at hobbits. Hobbits are weird. Hobbits are awesome, but kind of weird. Yeah, kind of everything is weird to a certain degree, but then enough people like it, so it's still weird, but it's just an acceptable weird. I like weird. Yes, you could probably tell I'm a little bit odd. That's life. But believe it or not, this is similar to my teaching style. Yeah. Yes, I'm definitely weird. I subject those kids to great tortures. It's lovely and wonderful and horrible at the same time. So let's see. Those are my writing influences. Bra doesn't think it's good enough to publish. Bra, no, that works. Totally works. But you want to. Well, you know what? Here's the secret when it comes to publishing. It is never good enough to publish, but you just kind of got to suck it up. Now, the way that kind of what I mean on that is not that your book is going to be, terrible. It's the author is always going to have a critical view of it. The author is always going to have the more strict view on it. Part of the reason that Firebrand took about 10 years to get published was because I was terrified, and basically it was never good enough to be done. I was never satisfied enough to be done with it. There was always something else to tweak, something more to fix and make just a little bit better. And sometimes I would spend all my editing basically just rereading stuff, and then I would maybe change a single word in there, and then I would consider that a great moment. But no, when it comes to writing, we never think that our stuff is good enough. And here's one of the other things too, and I talk about this in one of my other videos. So many times we think that it's not good enough is because we'll write it and then we get to the end and then we go back and we reread it, and we don't realize that since this is one of our first books and so we're still kind of learning the craft, we get better as writers as we go along, and the stuff that you write at the very beginning is going to be worse than the stuff you write at the end because you're a better writer at the end. So then when you go back and you reread, then it feels like, oh my gosh, how could I have written this kind of thing? And so with that, then we come the idea of revisions. And I highly encourage people to just, when you're doing revisions, take the document and put it on one side of the paper and then, or on one side of the screen, and then put an empty document on the other side of the screen and just typing just everything word for word once again. And the reason I suggest this is because when you do that, it makes you decide, do I want to include this word or not? Do I want to include everything that is in there, or do I actually want to, get rid of it? And by typing it all up that way too, it gives you a chance to look at things with fresh eyes. So many times, if we just let ourselves go through and just say, it's good enough, you just kind of allow errors and allow mistakes just sort of go through. But when you have to retype everything, then you have to decide, do I really want this word or do I not? And it's just a really good method for revising. So I would highly, highly suggest that. But yeah, when you're going through, publishing is also terrifying. It's kind of similar to starting a YouTube channel. You're putting yourself out there, and worse than that, you're putting yourself out there in a way that now people can basically read and theoretically judge you. And that was a terrifying prospect because no one likes to be judged. Well, with a YouTube channel, you put your video out there, you see what happens, and then turns out you're not as cringeworthy as you think you are. You're not as terrible as you think you are. Turns out that there are people that actually like your level of weird. Now, that being said, there are people that don't like me online and in real life. That's just life. There are people that don't like my book. That's just life. There are some of my students, they've actually said to my face, I'm not a fan of fantasy. You know what? That is okay. Everyone's got their own style. That is perfectly okay. The trick when it comes to it is you just got to know not everyone is going to like what you do. It is, in my view, impossible to find something that everyone is going to like. And even the things that you think everyone should like, it turns out that people still don't actually like them. So really the best thing on that is don't worry about who's not going to like it. Look for the people that are. And so once you actually get some stuff written down and you've gone through, you've typed it all in, you've got it relatively formatted, then give it to someone that you think actually likes that kind of stuff, someone who's interested in those kind of topics. If you've got zombie apocalypse, like we've got mentioned here, there are a lot of people that enjoy the TV show The Walking Dead, or Resident Evil is a video game franchise and a movie franchise. You've got, a lot of different versions of The Walking Dead out there. You've got a lot of different videos that have to do with zombies and zombie apocalypse. So there is clearly a market. Well, what's going to make, your thing successful is finding people that like that kind of stuff too, and then having them say, you know what, I really like this, or you know what, I think that this might not be the best option. I had a fantasy and science fiction class in college, and this was amazing because we finally have a bunch of people that have science fiction and fantasy mindsets that are all coming together for the sake of making stories and also for making everyone's stories better. And this was really, really useful because I got some amazing, amazing tips there. Everything from in my book, it's actually really funny. I had one section that I thought was important enough to be a single or a single paragraph. And then all of the criticism, they're saying, I really like this stuff, but I was really wanting more. I was wanting a lot more. And so that one paragraph became a completely separate chapter. Then I had another of my peers. He said, so I noticed that you have these two events. And in my story, it was a character. They basically travel through this fairly dangerous passage. And then at the end of it, then they find these shipwrecked people that they have to save, and that furthers more plot. Well, one of my peers said, I understand what you're doing here, but what if you flop the events around? What if you had you basically find those characters, and then it would necessitate doing the dangerous passage. And I thought, that makes a whole lot of sense. It doesn't change really what's going on. It just adds to, and now it takes certain events and it makes them necessary, rather than make certain events kind of plot necessary. So, people are going to be able to have great criticism and be able to offer some great insight. On the other hand, same class, and I had one girl, she said, yeah, I'm not a fan of stories that take place at sea. And that was what most of the first, like, 10 chapters really is, only on land for a short amount of time, and then most of it was spent either on the water or physically traveling on the water. So it's like, I really can't do anything with that one. And again, she was a fantasy writer, so it's not that she didn't like fantasy, it was she didn't like things that took place on the water. That's life too. You're going to find some people that, especially with zombie apocalypse, you might not, or you might have some people that are like, I really like how you did, the zombie virus, or I really like how you made the zombies come about. And then other people are going to say, I really didn't like how you did the zombies here, or I really didn't like the method for making zombies. That's okay. Again, people are going to have opinions, but the trick is you got to find the right people, the right opinions, and unfortunately, the wrong opinions can really mess things up. So, what I would suggest on there, first off, is figure out, one, how long is it? Because how long is going to determine what kind of story that you're actually doing. Generally, if you're doing a short story, then that's about like 7,500 words. Is and this is actual numbers, science stuff. This is about 7,500 words, whereas a novel is approximately in the like 60 to 90,000 words. And then before that, you've got novella. So depending on how much you have written is going to depend on how you want to go ahead and publish it. Also, as far as publishing goes, and I'm going to, about how many pages? So roughly it is, actually, as a really cool side note, and this is just some really cool numbers, do you remember how teachers tended to say that they wanted you to type your paper in size 12 font, Times New Roman, double spaced? And the reason being is because that will actually give you enough words for a typical novel. And that number is about 300 to 333. So if you're looking at 7,500, for example, then that's going to be around 24, 25 pages ish. So again, that's all if it's typed. If it is about 90,000, however, 60 to 90,000, then 60,000. So, yeah, 75 pages, size 12. Very cool. Very cool. Not too shabby at all. But yeah, so 60,000 words. So that's looking at approximately 180 to like 270,000. It's long. Very nice. Very nice. And yeah, so when it comes to those kind of things, then you're going to have some various places to go through and publish. And if you're going with a short story, they've got magazines, they've got journals, they've got other anthologies as part of things. And if you're going with a novella, then you've got other options. If you go novel, you've got other options. So when it comes to publishing, actually, one of the things that I would also like to recommend is not just looking into submitting to traditional publishers, but I would also like to suggest looking into self-publishing. because thing about self-publishing is nowadays a lot of things are print on demand. A lot of things are you upload your document and cover, and then when a person wants to buy it, then they order it, and then when the order is done, then it will get printed and shipped. One of the good things about this is in the past with self-publishing, you basically had to order a whole ton of copies and then do all the selling yourself. But with nowadays print on demand, you don't have to have any stock on hand. And so it's a great way to save money. It's a great way to cut down on storage. And what's also cool about with the print on demand is that you can then buy author copies and have them shipped to you at cost, so that you can then do selling outside if you so desire. But yeah, options are considerably higher. And yeah, if you're interested in actually getting into publishing, I would love to see that. That would be so cool. Yes. So when it comes to, like I said, this channel, I'm kind of feeling like about time to wrap it up. We're in 36 minutes time. So when it comes to this kind of channel, yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of art. I'm going to be talking a lot of writing. I'm going to be talking a lot of the writing process, and I'll get into a little bit of publishing stuff. As far as growing YouTube channel, that's not going to be where I generally are. Like I said, there's a lot of really good channels out there. So once again, a plug for vidIQ. They're a fantastic one for it. But yeah. And otherwise, if I come up with something else interesting, then we'll see if that can become a video. Otherwise, it's been really cool. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for your questions. I would love to see how this book turns out, both of you. And otherwise, until then, have an excellent night. And yeah, we'll see. Well, actually, on that note, too, I'm not sure about live streaming and setting up a different time for that, or just setting up a schedule for that. Tuesdays are kind of my free night, so it's possible that I'm going to continue to do a Tuesday night stream. So yeah, if you are around Tuesday night and you've got nothing else to do and you feel like dropping in a few comments, I would love to have you. So have an excellent one. Take care. Love you. Bye.